to Jess Ramos in the studio this morning. Good morning, Sheriff. Get right. Oh, let me turn your mic up
Yeah.
here. Okay, how's
Give
that?
him a mic.
All right. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
All right, get right up on that mic there because we're on a cheap budget. We got cheap microphones here. Now you're running for sheriff this go around for Lampasas County, and this is this your first election or the second?
This is my third term.
Third term.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you were elected once before and you were appointed?
I was actually appointed, and then I ran two of the my two other terms I ran unopposed. This is my first actual competition.
Okay, so
election.
you have to get dirty down in the dirt with this one here as far as campaigning goes. Now, before we get started here, give us a brief synopsis on your bio.
Well, I'm 39 years deep as a law enforcement officer. I'm not, just a few months from going 40 years. Uh, I started my career as a Texas Highway Patrol State Trooper for DPS. I then promoted to narcotics with DPS as a sergeant, and then promoted as a sergeant with the Texas Rangers. I was stationed here in Lampasas as a ranger, and I guess I served here about 11 years. And I retired in 2012 and went to Horseshoe Bay, where I ran. Uh, Me and two other rangers ran that agency over there, the Horseshoe Bay Police Department. I was there for about 3.5 years when I was asked to come back over here and be appointed as sheriff by the Commissioner's Court. Uh, I served out the term for former Sheriff David Whitus, his last 6 months, I believe. And then I ran for a term and ran unopposed, and ran another term unopposed, and here I am seeking my third term.
39 years of law enforcement. That's even 10 years in law enforcement is a long time. Why not just retire and go play golf?
Well, because really, truly, I'm a public servant at heart. That's the way I'm driven. I have that passion. I love mankind. I love this community. I love our state. I love our country. We need great law enforcement. I've got the experience to make that happen. I've been doing it for a long time, and I want to continue to serve.
Well, God love you. I couldn't see myself doing that. I can't.
You couldn't pass the psyche valve.
Well, that's one reason we weren't going to have to bring that up, Casey. But now, when you became a sheriff, your first full term, what changes did you make?
Well, I lobbied extremely hard because I knew as a Texas Ranger here that the county was it was a big need of a new sheriff's office and a county jail. They were housing lots of inmates to other counties, and that was a financial burden on the county. There's a lot of liability involved there as well. There was the manpower, the transport back and forth of these inmates to other counties. Some were transported as far as Abilene.
Whoa.
And it just I knew the situation was a dire need for the county. So I was asked, probably, I don't know, I can't remember if it was the second or third commissioner's court, if I thought we needed a new jail and a new sheriff's office, which I said we did. And they had me explain, and I told them what I had learned, and then I studied up more on this situation, and decided to put some town hall meetings together and lobbied extremely hard, and the Lampasas County voters voted for it, and we got a great new Lampasas County Law Enforcement Center.
Yeah, I remember when you had the open house. I didn't get to see that. Still interested in taking a tour there.
I got to see it.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh, I'd like to see it on this side of the cell bars, though.
Well, you're certainly welcome. I'll give you a tour.
Okay. Now, did we save money as a county by building that jail?
Well, the initial cost to build it is expensive,
right?
Because there's a bond issue that we have to apply for, and it's being paid for. But that last year, we spent $258,000.
On the old jail?
No, well, no. I'm saying housing inmates in other counties.
Ooh. Okay.
258,000. Since then, now that we have our jail, we are now contracting with other counties where we're housing their inmates. So now we're on the revenue building part of it. And
Nice.
this past year, we had a revenue of over 300,000 that we made by housing inmates for other counties.
Okay, is this jail already paid for, or are we still paying
No,
for it?
we're still paying for it.
And how long are we going to be paying that?
I believe it's a 20-year note. Don't quote me on
20
that.
years?
But
Okay.
yes, sir.
All right. So, okay. Now, after 20 years, is it still going to be, we're not going to have to plow that one down and start again?
No, in fact, this jail, and I did a lot of thinking on this. This jail is a indirect supervision, so it's a pod system. So the male and the female, all we have to do is extend the hallways out, and we can put an identical pod like what we have now for the males, and identical pod for the females, and we have enough room to do that. We can double the size of this jail strictly by doing that.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, compared to the old jail, how many beds were in the old jail?
37.
37. And what do you have here?
This is a 96 bed. We can hold up to 112.
Ooh, that's a lot
Yeah,
more.
yeah. Now, the old jail, I understand it had problems. Of course, it's a parking lot now. Yeah.
I've used that parking lot.
Have you, while the jail was there? Or?
No,
Okay.
no.
So, if you're elected another term, well, what changes do you plan on making? What are you going to do for the?
Well, we need to have retention with our deputies. We have great deputies that are very loyal. We have great detention personnel that are very loyal to this county. We don't pay like other agencies around here, and that creates an issue.
Who makes that call?
Well, the commissioner's court is the one that regulates the budget for the sheriff's
Okay.
office.
All right. So what is your budget? Say for 2024, what is your budget for this year? Now this is everything combined, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's everything. Well, I can tell you that last year it was around 4.3 million, but I don't know what it is this year right now.
4.3 million.
Yes, sir.
Was that up from the previous year?
Actually we had taken it down some.
Oh, to cut the budget on the sheriff's department. It seems to be a theme.
It's trending.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I understand money's tight, and you can only get so much out of the taxpayers. So, but this goes for vehicles, communications, salaries, everything, right?
Everything. The operation of the jail, yes, the gas, the fluctuation of this gas situation that we're in. It's kind of hard to budget for that. We don't
That
know
is
where
true.
where we're going to be at.
Okay. So, how do you? So retention. Now, of course, I'm thinking LPD probably pays more than the sheriff department pays, right?
Yes.
So that's okay. So that's your ongoing problem. How do you get new deputies knowing that they can just go across the street and get higher pay?
Well, there's a lot of praying.
Yeah.
We put it out there. We have a great county to work in, and a lot of good people out in the county. And although we have our issues like others, we don't have issues like what they may have to the east of us or south of us. So we try to recruit to say this is a great county to work. The retention is going to be an issue and has been an issue because since before I was sheriff, it's always been a struggle to try to get our deputies a pay plan of some sort to where we can retain their employment. If they remain the same and just get a little cost of living, then they're going to look elsewhere.
Oh yeah, I mean, who wouldn't?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how do you do that though? Yeah, I mean, we talk about retention and wanting to and want that retention, but how do you do that?
Well, other agencies retain their officers because they implement a certificate pay. In other words, when they go from their basic certificate with TCO, they go to intermediate, then they go to advanced, they go to masters, you get instructor's license, and all that is a bump in your pay. They also get stipend pays for bilingual, for education, college hours, uh, any kind of talent that you may bring to that agency. They take a strong look at it, and they get stipend pay for that.
Okay, so it's merit based, I guess, as far as your raises go.
Yes.
Okay, that's not the case here at the Lampasas County.
No, it's not.
Okay, so how do you make that happen then, as a sheriff?
Well, continue to talk to the commissioners and see where we can find the money and see how we can come together, and knock heads together, and make it happen. Because public safety is very expensive.
Yeah, you would
but
think if anybody. I mean, I can understand cutting budgets. I totally get that. Times are tough, but when it comes to first responders, you'd think that would be the top of the cake there.
public safety is a priority.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's the job of the county and the city, is protect the citizens. That's the number one chore, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, so because we're not paying the deputies what other agencies pay, are we shorthanded now?
Yes, we are.
How bad?
I have 4 openings right now, and
4.
4, and fixing to have 1 leave here at the end of the month. The end of the month.
Wow.
It's about to
gonna
be
be-
5 short.
He's going to retire.
Okay. And so I'm guessing you lost deputies due to them going to different agencies because of the pay.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
That is the number one reason.
Okay. Well, I think there's only one fix for that, is to come up with the money. But you don't hold the purse string, so there's not much you can do about it. Is there any other way you can cut in the department to make up for it?
Well,
Or let me ask you, who sets the salaries for the deputies? Is that you, or is that the commissioners?
it goes before commissioner's court, and they approve it.
Okay. So is there if you saved money elsewhere in the department, could you use that money, or is it still up to the commissioners?
It's all up to the commissioners.
Oh,
Wow.
well, I guess we're talking to the wrong guy then about the money situation.
Well, I mean, they have a tough job. They've got to be able to move this money around. We're not what you call a high tax based county.
Oh, I get that. But there's priorities, though.
Yes, no, without a doubt, that priority has to happen.
Okay, so you're 4 short on the road, correct?
Correct.
And another one is retiring. Is he on the road or in the
He's a criminal investigator.
criminal investigator? Okay, so you got to replace him once he retires, right?
Correct.
Now, is it mandatory you have a criminal investigator, or can that seat be vacant until?
Well, it just puts more burden on the other 2.
Yeah.
We have a total of 3, and they stay extremely busy.
Do they have to get out on the road too?
Well, when they need to.
Yeah, 4 short. Wow. Okay.
We also have 4 short in the jail and 1 short in communications.
Wow. Does it take you have to do a psych eval for that?
Oh, yes.
Ah, damn it.
Sorry, Ken.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do the job, but it's the whole thing of getting out and running and being physical part of it. I just couldn't do it.
And you couldn't pass the psych.
I could drive the deputy around. Pass the psych. Yeah, you got to pass the psych just to fill up the car. Yeah. Okay.
You can be a chauffeur.
What other issues does the sheriff's department have now that if you were elected that you try to tackle?
Well, here, since the COVID situation hit us, the replacement of vehicles is extremely tough, and that every agency is battling that. Can't seem to get the vehicles that we want. Preferably, we would like the Tahoes. They're safer, but we're having to go to pickup trucks again, and we've been put on the back burner 2, maybe even 3 times, and it becomes very
From what,
difficult.
the dealerships?
Yes, sir.
Can you get them locally, or do you have to get them a specific?
Yes, we
Well-
got to get them through a buy board.
Okay, so why can't you get them locally?
Well,
I'm sorry.
they probably they don't come in at the same cost.
Oh,
So-
okay. You
so
get them cheaper.
We
but-
get it discounted at
Okay.
a buy board. Yes, sir.
Now, once those things are decorated, and equipped with the communications. What are those? What does each Tahoe run?
Well, the outfitting with all the decals, the radio, the cage, everything that's in it, can for each vehicle can run up to 14,000 a piece.
14,000 in addition to
But-
the cost of it.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's the cost of the vehicle?
About 50,000, 57,000.
Wow. And how long do you keep these before you have to get another one?
Well, we run them as long as we can. Normally at about 120, 125, they're pretty beat up, and we're trying to replace them. But we have units that are way over that as well.
Did they give you a budget for that at least?
Yeah, well, we work that budget.
Yeah.
It's not so much that it's a set budget, but they know that we're going to need the vehicles.
And how many do you usually get a year?
Well, normally 3 to 4.
Really? Wow. Just chunk of change. Wow. Okay.
We have I think we have 7 on the books right now because of the delay with COVID. So
Yeah.
we're hoping we can get 7.
Are they already paid for, or you got to wait for them to pop up?
No, when we get them, we'll pay for them then.
Yeah. Wow. Who does the budgeting over there? Is that you're the one that does the entire budget?
Oh, it's myself, my chief deputy, and my jail administrator.
Okay. So I want to step backwards for a second. Now, is there anywhere inside the budget that you can cut to pay the deputies more money?
No, sir.
No.
No, it's
You guys are
we're
stretched to the
stream
limit.
we're streamlined.
Wow. Okay. I'd like to find out why. Yeah. But that's a different discussion with different people. Okay. Now you have an opponent this year that you didn't have last year. I don't know anything about him, to be honest, other than he's border patrol, I believe. And why do you feel that you are the one for this job?
Well, because I have the experience, I have the job knowledge. I've been running this office for almost 8 years. Uh, I've have a strong commitment to this county. As a retired Texas Ranger and as a sheriff, I have served this county for 17 years. I continue to serve it. Of all the counties that I have worked in the state of Texas, I chose Lampasas to retire, to raise my family, and hopefully rest my head here forever.
We would like to have you stick around anyway, because I hear you make some pretty good barbecue. Yeah. Okay. So your number one task will be trying to get these get the retention
Yes,
issue taken care of.
And that's been an ongoing task. It's been for years.
Well, regardless who's in that seat is going to have that same problem, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. So like I said, that's a different discussion for a different group of people. Second thing on your list?
Well, I would like to create a lieutenant to supervise my 2 patrol sergeants and communications. That would be a priority as far as an additional staff. If we could make that happen, it would help a lot. That way we could get our sergeants back out on the road instead of being tied up with paperwork.
Management.
What do you mean by tied up in paperwork? What?
Well, they have to check reports. They got to get reports to the court system. They have to do the background investigations to employees.
Is that something admin can do?
Well, I have one admin, and
Jess, you got a problem over there at that jail.
well,
I know
say,
you're doing what you can do.
I say I have an admin. I have a jail administrator, but they got their paperwork too.
Yeah.
And an assistant jail administrator and chief deputy as well. They stay extremely busy with just the operations and helping me keep the jail running and the sheriff's office. But my admin, she actually just left, and I have a brand new one. But she's also working communications training, a new communications operator. So she's doing a dual role right now.
All right, we're talking to Lampasas County Sheriff Jess Ramos, going for a re-election again, coming up in March, right? Super Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And sound like you got your hands full there, Sheriff. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, but we appreciate the fight that you put up for the people in the county. Would this be your last term, or are you going to stick around?
I do term by term.
Yeah.
This will give me 45 years. I still feel I'm highly qualified. I'm in good health. I can make it happen. I'm certainly on God's will. If He should say, "Hey, let's go again," we'll go again.
You got to do what you're told. Yeah. Uh, now, what does your wife think about you running for another term? She's like, no, go on, stay home. The garage needs to be cleaned out. Got some projects you need to get done
My
before you get too old and break a hip. Can't do anything.
my wife is extremely supportive of me in whatever I do.
Really?
Yes, she is very, very
Well,
loving.
you're a lucky man then.
I am. I am extremely lucky.
You got any grandkids?
I do not. I have a 15-year-old daughter that is the love and the heartbeat of my life.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh, look, it's talking like a true dad. Look, he's got a soft side to him too. Good. Sheriff, anything that we need to bring up that we haven't talked about?
Yeah. Well, since we were talking about elections, I asked that everybody take this Republican primary election extremely important because we're myself and my opponent are running on the same ticket, and whoever wins the primary wins it all out. We don't have a Democrat that's running, so that person that wins it here on
Winner take all.
on March 5th is going to be on the ballot, and all he needs is a vote on the general election and
A vote.
a vote.
Yeah, that should be pretty simple.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's very important that they get out and vote, vote the primaries. Early voting is February 20th through March 1st. You don't have to wait in line. You can just get out there.
I love that early voting.
Yes,
It's sweet.
and March 5th, election day, you can vote that day as well, but there's a good chance you'll be waiting in line.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Not Casey and I. We love that early voting stuff.
Early
Yeah.
voting.
Okay.
Way to go.
All right, La Paz County Sheriff Jess Ramos. Good luck in your election bid, and hope to get you back in the studio.
I would love to.
And see how it turns out after March. Get you back in here.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate y'all giving me this time, and I appreciate the support that I'm receiving. Thank you.
Well, I told Casey that you're going to bring in some St. Mary's tacos.
Yeah, you did. No. Next time.
Next time, yeah. After the election.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you? Obviously, you've tried St. Mary's tacos.
I was actually serving them yesterday.
Were you really?
Really?
They were short, and I was called in, and I was at not serving them. I was taking the money. I'm not very good at serving them. I can make it. I can cook. I'm just not the server. With those ladies that do a great job.
Yeah, they do.
And it's delicious.
Yeah, it's the size of a football. I love it.
Yes.
All right. Sheriff Jeff Ramos, appreciate you coming in.
Yes, sir.
And good luck to you in this election. Hope to talk to you soon back in the studio.
Super.
All right. 8:33, 27 before 9 to Mix Online. Your hits from the 80s, 90s, and today. Good morning.
Double the music while you work. Mix Online.